brethren long gone. Love brethren up in the cell locked off. Lifespan small, we only get one chance. Stuck in the settlement when man them popcorn. So me need Jaqq in my life. So me need Jaqq in my life. Blood on the bandana, watch him hold a skin. Dwelling in the madman where there's no amends. Had to find a way to flag me bandana too. Lion sitting at the middle, green, gold and red. Gold and red, victory. David with the spirit and it's lifting me. Where me crowned it, where me garments and where me gowned it. I see it fitting me. Come me get the leader road from me mother and father. Would be a bad way, so me take no.
What's going on, people? Welcome to the Wiretap, and I got a very dope panel. We're going to do Premier Battles Anarchy Tournament Round 1 recap, and I'm just going to bring them straight in. I'm excited for this recap. So we've got man like Craft D, well, I got my bro. We've got Danny Jaqq. We've got the homie J Thinkz. We got Smok3 KingS TV, and last but not least, we got London Jennn. What's going on? How's everyone doing?
Come on, what's going on?
How did you lot feel about it?
Good. Happy to be here.
Yeah. Tournament was good, man.
Dope.
Good to be watching Battles live again. Like, I've missed that feeling. I've just actually, like, me and my boy were just watching it, like, round by round, saying who we think winning. Like, I've been watching them on YouTube after the battles happened. I watched the King of the Dot ones, but like watching it in Canada doesn't feel the same, you know. I feel like I could have been there at this event. That was cool.
Yeah. This is one of them ones where we any of us could have just been in the building, you know, like that. So,
bro, I treated it like I was at like how I usually act at events. So drinking and just unnecessarily hating on everyone, and just taking it. It was a good time, bro. It's fun.
I was in a bar for the first battle, so that's not typical sort of battle viewing. It worked though. It was all right. Threw the soap down when Pedro was like messing up with the.
Congrats on your win.
I hadn't even seen him, like two or three of them tonight. I've seen, because I've not been keeping up massively. I don't think I'd seen him before, but yeah, really strong.
So let's talk Will Jaqq. We can get to that. I felt like it was all right. But we can get to that.
You're biased, Chubbs. You're biased. We can't hear your opinion on that.
Listen, judging is hard, man. Judging is hard, bro.
In the Twitch chat saying Quill smoking hard food, bro. That guy was cracking me up. Every time Quill smoking hard food, bro. But fans are hilarious, bro. Yeah, so funny.
Mav and Bobby. All right.
I'm not gonna lie. From the way Georgie was talking on the face off, yeah. Bless the shot still.
You know what? It's so interesting, man. I feel like when you're not fully following it, like I don't really know a lot of the newer guys. Like I hadn't watched the academy and all this. I'd never seen Celeste before, and I actually saw King of the Dot Twitch pop up yesterday while I was cooking food, and I had that interview on, literally that press conference till my goal walked in and I turned it off. Literally, I was like, I don't know who Celeste is, but Georgie is absolutely roasting him, saying he's gonna body him. So I was expecting that, and I was like, no, and Trubbs is, no, I'm gonna say it. Said it before. That was the wrong decision. Manchester beat him very clearly, in my opinion, very clearly.
Fair enough. Let me just address this. Everyone's saying, "Where's Yunnan? I was promised Yunnan." Listen, Yunnan hit me up to do this. I wasn't even thinking to do this recap after.
Yunnan hit me up too. I said, yeah. Yunnan was on it.
But then, where is Yunnan? You lot message Yunnan for me then, innit? Trying to blame me for false advertising or something. Yo, come in peace, yo. But anyway, yeah. All right, Craft. Well, obviously, you already spoke on your Georgie and Celeste, but let's start from the first battle though. Sam Hypes and Pedro. How did you lot feel? Obviously, everyone knows what my decision was, I guess. How did you lot feel?
Pedro won, bro. I think Pedro won.
I gave it to Sam. I loved. I thought Sam had upped his performance game. I liked Pedro, but it was a bit like, especially that first round. I know he had the mic stuff, but it was scrappy. Yeah, that's it. It was scrappy. That's what I'm saying. It was scrappy before the mic.
It was because of the mic, but nah.
And like, I think, can I just say first, like, why did they start with Pedro? Yeah. Why did they start like their live stream on Twitch, like with Pedro? It just looked like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it just looked like,
anarchy.
Anarchy. Yeah. Like, but badly done anarchy. Badly done anarchy. Like, I liked Pedro was super entertaining. Like, I liked his performance. He was saying some shit. Like, I liked it. But please don't start with Pedro ever again on a live stream. Like, not a historic one. Big up Pedro.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I missed most of that battle because I was still licking my Merseyside derby wounds. But yeah, I missed most of it. But Pedro was doing what Pedro does. I gave it to Pedro from what I saw. But
he was barking, man. He was going. Like the third round, he was going. The first round made me laugh. He was like, "Can I just do let me do the whole round again, bro?" Like, that is, I've never seen a man do that in a battle. Like, not what, like, he was a good bucket to the round. And man said, "Let me start it again." Like it's TV. Like cut. No, it was mad.
Yeah, Pedro just gets in the zone.
First, like, when he said that on the first, like, let me start the round again. I was thinking, bro, like, you've been doing this for years. Like, you should be able to pick that up where you left it at and go.
And this is live as well. We all sat yard.
We can see everything. It's not edited.
Was it nerves? Was it nerves?
Nah,
I don't think Pedro gets nervous. I don't think he knows what nerves are. But that guy, bro, he broke 3 rounds.
I think
I wasn't like.
I think the stumble mixed with the mic dropping that kind of threw him all the way off. You know what I mean? And I don't fault him for that because that would throw somebody off.
I think with no crowd, Pedro no crowd as well. I think that threw him off because he wasn't getting.
Yeah, Pedro needs a crowd.
Pops and stuff like.
Oh, fully. That played into his opponent's hand because also Pedro's like.
No, Pedro was barking on it. He was barking on it.
He was snapping.
Pedro performs the same whether if there's a crowd there or not.
He does. Like
he needs to tailor his material to a smaller crowd base, and I don't think he's done that.
What I would say, I just think, if I remember, it's the one I remember the least because it was the first battle, and I was warming into it as well. I remember having Sam Hypes quite clearly 2-1 actually.
I got it.
The material was cleaner. It was kind of direct. It was just clean. It was measured. It was a bit more. The punches just had a bit. The punchline moment felt more justified. Pedro was getting to his punch, and I wasn't feeling the attack behind most of them. Then every now and then you have like a really funny one, but. You know, Pedro can write and can do better than that. And I haven't seen Sam Hypes before, so maybe there's that bit of bias because I know one guy's underperforming and one guy I don't have an expectation for. So that's obviously a factor. But I clearly.
But I think like that's better though, because once you put expectations, I feel like then we might not judge fair. And I think we all do it.
But you're always going to get that with a battle like that.
We might not judge fairly because we like, for what you can do, that's not good enough, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't good enough to win the battle.
But I will always judge on that neutrality. Like I'll never take into account I know or don't know. I think there's way much, not necessarily today, but generally way too much nepotism in battle rap judging. People think the guy they like or they think that the other opponent has to do more. And I just think that comes into it way too much. People go, oh no, you needed more for that opponent. But I think just judge it on the bars that are there at that time.
At the day, right?
Bro, if there's one word.
Someone said Craft D judging now is better than Gems right after the battle.
Bro, if there's one word that sticks in my mind for this event, it is nepotism, bro. And not
it was a bit today. I think it was a bit today, to be fair. I'm not gonna lie.
But I disagree with pretty much not all of it. What decisions do I agree with, bro?
You can't say because you disagreed it was nepotism.
No, but I mean, like,
I'm completely unbiased in this situation. Like, and I feel like Pedro had more punches. I feel like Pedro had more punches. I felt like Sam Hypes, his pen is incredible, but I want to kind of see him incorporate more punches in what he does. You know what I mean? And I thought Pedro did that.
That's interesting because that's like punch count, which obviously is super important. And what I'd also say is Pedro has a very developed personality. Like you can really see he's got his stage persona. Whereas, sometimes the newer guy doesn't quite have that yet. You don't quite get who they are. And that's been a criticism of me. Like maybe sometimes fairly in the past, people say get my personality, what I'm trying to do or trying to be. And I think that can come across as well. I don't think there was bias like there, what anyone here saying. I think it was pretty much a style clash.
I was just about to say that with the debatable decisions and the ones where they're calling them robberies, it's because people strongly buy into the style rather than, I like that style. So even though you might think that material was clearly better, for me, this is what I buy into. So I'm going to rate that a lot higher. Like Smok3 is saying, nah, for me, Pedro clearly took that. Other people will sit there and say, no, you're mad. Like, because it's a style thing, and battle rap is style based, then you fuck with certain styles over others. So then robbery comments.
It's so interesting that, because like I think that when you read the comments in the Twitch stream, right, I think UK fans and Canada fans of battle rap are quite similar. Generally, like the trends of battle rap can be similar, whereas URL and that's doing its own thing. I think people are super hot on personalities. People want the personality, the person they prefer, the person they think's harder, more believable. I think that's a good thing. I think it's a little too much in UK battle rap. I think people go too much.
I don't know if you can see that.
And I think sometimes that.
But I wrote preference.
Like, you don't look at the writing. It bugs me that people talk about their favorites in this tournament, man. And I'm not seeing Lazy Ass Jaqq's name coming up much, because I think he falls in that category of. He's going to
be a wild card.
Like his writing's insane. He could be anyone in the tournament.
He is. Lazy Ass Jaqq's writing is insane, but he definitely is someone that wins from dropping bars that people either relate to or people relating to his whole kind of vibe and his character, like 100%.
Lazy Ass Jaqq is sick, bro. I've always been.
No, he is sick. Don't get twisted. He's sick, but I feel like a lot of like his writing only takes him so far. So, and it's also in his whole character and his vibe. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get you.
I think that
it is a weird one, isn't it? Like the way he battles and stuff. Like he's mad. Like
it's interesting. The one on screen right now. You know, that's interesting discussion point generally.
And that's a very good point. I think that's a very good point. Styles in it. Slester's style is dope. I think Georgie has a style there. If you look at the judging panels as well, look at who's on this. Like,
they were saying about the London bias, innit?
I don't even think he's I don't think I've met Georgie before.
He's from Essex, bro.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I'm saying. He's the one in the southeast.
Yeah. I was saying this in the like I was doing like a team meeting thing, watching it with like a few man. I was saying, bro, like, where does that accent come from, bro? Because he's from Colchester. That is a mad accent.
Didn't he? I'm sure he was saying he come up in London. I'm sure he come up in London. Yeah.
Gotta be a bit London in there. Like it's a slang. Like it's too London centric to not. At all.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is like parts of Essex are people class them as East London anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he sounds a bit more London than Essex.
Do you know what I think is a problem with today and the King of the Dot stream, because I watched the King of the Dot tournament as well. A real problem with the judging, which was the problem for the disaster and frack battle in the first round, the infamous robbery, right? Now, actually,
that was a clear robbery.
I'll say to this Trouble, don't take this personally, because this isn't about your judging today, but it was some of the judges in general. And I fuck with all of them. Will, Gems, they're all my boys, right? There's no hatred here. This is a professional kind of opinion. The judging of these battles has to be concise and has to be specific. You can't just come in and go, yeah, well, he had better bars and like this. It's not good enough. And when the battle's that close, personal opinion, I think Slester clearly beat Georgie Roots, and I don't think it was a debatable battle, right? But if I'm gonna make that, then I need to specifically reference why and how he won the battle. When it's a close
this is it. But this is why you don't judge a battle. This is why you don't. I used to hate it. I don't flop if I was ever asked to judge, because it meant I couldn't get waved. Because I want to because you want because it meant that you can't get waved, because you have to. It's basically like you're watching a basketball game or a football game, and you have to like tick off like what they're doing in each round and how many went to who in each round to tally it up. Like, that's the way I see it. So if I'm asked to judge, I'm now really.
Bro, I've been asked to judge bare times while steaming, and they still
I can't do it.
I will do it regularly. I've judged title matches once. But
I know you have. You're that wavy done.
Come on.
Crafty, I think you're bang on there. Like, I think people wouldn't be shouting robbery as much if people just justified their opinion. Just give us reasons why. It's opinionated. You can't tell me my opinion's wrong.
I don't think
you can tell me you disagree with it.
Can I speak from the judge's point of view as well? Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah, I've never been a live stream judge before. Yeah, do you know what it is as well? Talking on is a bit annoying on the stream, and I tell you why. Because we not muted, innit? But you can hear the background of the whole venue, bro. Talking over you. So I'm talking, you know, when you're talking and you just hear bare people talking at the same time, you're actually, and you're talking to a screen, so you're actually wondering, are people listening to me?
Yeah, like, bro, that's mad.
Like, are people actually listening to me? Am I live? Because I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? The guy said,
I think this is
yeah, you are live, but I don't know. But it's hard, and that's why sometimes, yeah, as you start, I'm like, I'm just gonna keep this short, man, because I'm not gonna be on this talking and having, bro. I can hear Bobby Rex in the background. I can hear people saying, "Oi, do this." I can hear people cracking jokes.
That's something they need to fix for next time.
But there's nothing they can do, because if they mute their thing, then they can't hear us.
So but how can you mute something so you can't hear anything, but you can still talk? Can you take your earpiece out or something? You have to you have to be able to not.
Oh, sorry, Jen.
No, go on.
Oh, I was going to say, because Trob saying before we started, he came on as a replacement judge a minute before it started. So I do think hopefully next time you get a sound check or something, that might solve that.
Yeah, possibly. But they was already on the Zoom when I jumped in still.
Okay.
Excuse. I'm not. No. Don't get it twisted. My decision is still my decision. I made the decision before. I'm just speaking from.
What they need to do then is just call silence.
I'm just speaking from the justification of my decision.
Yeah,
I don't think I had a problem with this decision. I don't know a lot of people had a problem with this. Is the reason Quill got slack. I noticed it at the time in the chat, right? The reason Quill picked up slack.
I wasn't paying attention to the chat, by the way. So someone tell me who slacked me off.
But he no one's like that.
No, you were blessed, bro. You were blessed. They were just going to Quill, bro, saying he smokes hard food and all that.
On Quill. This is not a fight on Quill. He absolutely made a couple points that were contradictory. He made a couple points where, like, this guy, I can't remember what he said, but the point kind of contradicted his decision to pick the winner. So why I make the reference to the frack battle? In the frack battle, which was clearly a robbery. It was like staged. It was Shakespearean. It was like ridiculous. But the three guys who just came on and were like, yeah, no, he just bit more, yeah, he won. So it's like they clearly didn't think he won. They were trying to do whatever they could to kind of stay face, because they come into the battle knowing they were going to say he won. I don't think that happened today, by the way. That happened in that battle. That was an extreme example.
What, the George Lewis one?
It will be called a robbery.
About your sound, I don't know.
When you don't.
Sounds are right for me.
I'll put a better microphone in. Got a microphone thing on. Put that in.
Oh wow. Professional.
Okay.
But yeah, meanwhile, let me go for the comments. Quill was a trash.
I had Celeste 2-1, but I'm not mad at a Georgie 2-1. I don't think it was a robbery. I just think, like we said earlier, it comes down to preference. And to Georgie, shout out for being super humble at the end. You dig what I'm saying? That definitely goes a long way. And to Celeste, don't hang your head, Celeste. You are the people's king. You hear me?
But that doesn't go like this is where I think it's a bit nuts, because like that doesn't go with the spice that man was bringing in the face off. Like, yeah, he didn't seem like the kind of guy who was gonna say, "Oh, I think I lost that one yesterday in the face off."
I think Georgie's like kind of real, and like he like he's not gonna try and claim. I think like literally when he walked off, he was just like, "For fuck's sake, man, I didn't." I think he just said that because he really, not because he is super confident and braggadocious, but he felt I didn't give enough. So he should have been a bit smarter and or more experienced will tell him, let me not hot mic myself and say some dumb shit, which is going to sway.
What did he say on Face Off when he was like, "Oh, I hope you don't care about COVID. I want to be on your face." I would have.
Yeah, I'm gonna be up in your face.
But he was also like, "You're a shit rapper. You're a terrible rapper. You're whack. Like, I'm gonna beat you." Like he was literally saying that.
I think the thing about this one, like that's the thing. Georgie talks such a good talk, and he's talked, and there's been a lot of noise around him, and he generates a lot of buzz himself. So you expect a lot. I think Slester, the fact that his third round was flat, and like I think there was some. I'm going to have words with Georgie because I think some of his material was really basic, and I expected more. But I think his punches, like the way he crafted his material, and his punches hit harder. Slester, I gave it Slester, 2-1. The last round and the bit where he screamed, "Your mum!" Like I think it fell so flat that it just was like, oh. And I've seen a couple moments like that in Slester battles before.
The minute he said, "I'm not going to talk about your mum," I was about to say, "Okay, here we go, mum."
And and I think that third round, like, I think it just kind of where Georgie is so high energy and he's punch. It takes a bit of. Someone said to me, it was not to me, or can't remember who it was, but that third round is really important, and it made me think about that for a long while afterwards. And I look at third rounds now, and I see how you can be great for 2 rounds, clearly look like you won, but because your third round is so poor in comparison, it waters down what you did for your first 2, and it makes people forget how nice, especially if your opponent goes hard or hard enough all 3.
And the advantage of going second in a close battle plays into that third round. I actually would argue Marv 1 and Saint. I haven't watched it back. When I watched it, I had Marv 1. I mean, a clear cut 2-1. But the third round was the disparity was huge. He fell off and his opponent went up. You know,
a lot of battlers tend to die in the third round because that's the problem with writing your bars chronologically, in the way that you write all your best stuff in the first, then your second, and then your third is like you write your third like the week before, and it's you ran out of steam. This is why I write battles in the way I write loads of bars and I put them in different places depending on what I'm talking about and whatnot, because and a lot of new people tend to do that where they write it chronologically, and that's where they die in the third round. And also in Big 2021, bro. If you're doing a thing, I'm not going to talk about it, and you scream "your mum" now, it's going to go flat. It was never going to pop, bro.
Yeah.
It was never going to pop.
It's like how OJ ended around like 2010.
He won, but
to be honest, this is the first time I've seen both of them battle, because I haven't been keeping tabs of battles for a minute. But the face-off yesterday, from watching that, I was really starting the battle in Georgie's corner, and then Slester surprised me differently. Like I gave the first and second round to Slester and just the third to Georgie. Like, and I just feel, I don't know. I just feel like he did have the braggadociousness, like you said, Jen, but he didn't have the content I feel to back it up.
Agreed.
I agree.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Nothing wrong with selling a fight.
I wasn't thinking about the face-off when I was watching the battle, to be honest.
Nothing wrong with selling a fight, by the way. Selling a fight is,
it's true.
Yeah, agreed.
Promote your shit how you want to do it.
But when the most interesting face-off.
But the face-off made it kind of worse for me because I hadn't seen Slester before, so I was going, all right, George is going to wrap this guy's head off. Like when it came down to the battle, and I look at the staples of things you have to have in mind for battle rap. Directness. If you are a direct battler, then the way you use those angles and select those angles. The punchlines, how hard your punchlines hit and how creative and out of the box they are, and how you use rhyme, which is what rap is, how you use rhyme effectively to convey that. Like actually rhyming well and with a narrative and with a purpose, not just kind of randomly going off shit. Slester used those things, and that's my preference for what I watch. Slester used those things impeccably at times. I was very impressed, and I don't think Georgie had the same level of content. Me personally, I think he had a lot of bars that were super average or ones I've heard before. But interestingly, maybe like the best 1 or 2 bars of the battle were Georgie because he has that ability. But generally, the consistency was not there at all. Like there were large sections of his rounds where I was completely uninterested in what he was saying.
Yeah, very unoriginal punchlines as well. Yeah, I remember he had like 2 or 3 like punches that have been said a million times in the same round. It's like,
let me say this about Georgie though. Georgie's quite new. Like Georgie literally started listening to battle rap when he started learning, so he needs to do some more work. He needs to go back and so there's certain bars, obvious bars, which he's saying, and he doesn't know that they've been said 50 times before because he hasn't seen enough. So to him it sounds sick.
That's a good point.
I think someone was having a go at his portrait bar, and Georgie needs to do some more research. Like I think he needs to kind of. Especially when you are that sort of, he's got a lot more like his writing is generally a lot more creative.
I've seen him do creative stuff.
Yeah.
Georgie's gonna battle Georgie versus Sam Hypes next. How do you lot feel about that?
Georgie will win again.
You think?
Yeah. Sam Hypes is not going to go past this round. He beat Pedro, fair enough, but he's not going to go past this round. I'm not even trying to diss the man. I just don't think if he's going against Georgie next, Georgie will win. Georgie does have a few flaws, and that comes from not having experience in watching battles and stuff. But I still think Georgie will win.
Why do you think Georgie will win? Do you think he'll beat Georgie, or do you think Georgie's?
I think they both need to step up. To be quite honest,
if I put I'm thinking about Georgie's performance today and Sam Hype's performance today.
Okay.
And I think Georgie's was better than Sam Hype's. All round, maybe not bar for bar, but that's only one aspect, like writing. Obviously, it's a very important aspect, but Georgie is his performance is very confident, and it does sell his bars well. And I think Sam Hypes, Sam Hypes doesn't sound like anything new. He's good, but even to the cadence, it sounds like a lot of people that come from up north and whatnot. And I'm not just saying that because of the accent. I mean, in this sort of style and that. Whereas Georgie Roots is quite unique in that, and I think he's more all-round better. So I think Georgie Roots will win that. Yeah.
I think Georgie will definitely step it up. I think he kind of tried a thing. To me, that wasn't like, yes, Georgie punches, but he's far more. I think he just came to kind of punch Lester to death, and that would have worked far more effectively if he punched hard. I don't think, he's a puncher, but he's a creative writer. He's got a nice pen, and that wasn't like, you would not have taken that from that performance at all. And I think
that's crucial what you're saying, because like no matter what, we can talk about style clashes till the cows come home, right? Whether you are a URL style rapper, whether you're like a jokes rapper, you're a bars rapper, you're like just rapping about whatever, you're rapping about guns, you're rapping about. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you gotta be creative and interesting. You gotta be saying shit that we ain't heard before. That is uniform across any style of battle rap. I want to hear shit that I haven't heard before, or that someone else on the card isn't gonna say. They're not gonna give me the same thing that you're giving me. So that's crucial.
Do you guys know why I feel like Sam Hypes might beat Georgie? Because I personally feel. Because a lot of people feel like Lester beat, because you have to think tournament way, because a lot of people feel like Georgie's not meant to be in a tournament anymore. He's going to have to do a lot better. There's more pressure on Georgie now. Now he has to prove why he deserves to be there. If he gives us another mediocre performance, even if he edges Sam, I feel like they're going to pick Sam. Because like we have to pick
if you just said if he edges Sam,
that's a Bill's Diamonds. The bus pipes of Bill's Diamonds.
I'm talking about the fans though. I'm talking about fans going to pick.
My bad.
I'm not speaking on the judge. I'm thinking the fans going to pick.
My bad.
I feel like the Sam subconsciously will feel like
you're trouble.
Also the judges though. No, the judges will subconsciously feel like shit. Everyone feels they got the last decision wrong. We need to, like, I think subconsciously that's something that the judges, like, if you give it to Georgie in a debatable decision, you're going to, or if you think Georgie took it, you're going to second guess yourself because you know what happened last time. So I think subconsciously it will still affect, like, it affects anyone judging the battle, whether you're a fan or
the judges need to come through with next time. I say especially to the criticism of Quill. That was today, right? I'm not just sending from him. I was reading it in the comments. For me, this is in this tournament. There's 2,500 a flight to Canada or whatever, and a title shot on the line, the judging has to be concise. You have to justify what you're saying and give specific points, because that's a big prize to just be because you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm just gonna say this guy.
Yeah, Celeste must be feeling shit right now. Yeah,
but if you're gonna say that about Quill, you've also got to say that about Gemini.
Yeah, but man was in an Uber. He was in an Uber, bro.
Look, man,
but he knew he was judging. He knew he was judging. He knew he was judging. Jem knew he was judging. Like, he knew he was judging.
Yeah, but
he was booked to judge. He knew what time the thing was.
Man was out and about, bro.
Yeah, but then don't judge.
Yeah, that's my take on it as well, because you're not gonna have the same interest in it as if you're actually just focusing on the battle. Like,
Crafty's right. Like, the stakes are too high for that bullshit. Like, the stakes are too high. Don't do that. Like, it's not fair. As soon as you mention that, I'm just now like.
We were saying, it's like, yo, like, is he sitting there in an Uber studio and that, and watching these battles fully? Like, is he really sitting there watching them whilst doing other things, bro? But I took my judging serious and stand my decision.
Yo, Quill. Now let me come back on Quill. I was specific with my points. Let me come back on Quill because I was specific.
Shit.
Quill's, the problem wasn't that you didn't take it serious, and this isn't from me. This is what I read in the comments. So I'm getting a public perception. What people were saying was that the way you explained it didn't justify a decision. Like, I might be like, watch it back and go, you know what, Georgie Roots won and I made a mistake. But I think people were watching the judging decisions, not just you, all of them, and going, nah, they haven't explained why he lost. They're going, my guy just won and he's been told he lost, but I haven't been told why he lost. That's what everybody's opinion was.
And look at like the examples of judges that we've had recently. Like the examples of judges that, like, Ben Swayze is the peak judge, but even if you look in sort of the rest of King of the Dot tournament,
look at Real Deal. Look at how Real Deal.
That's it. Yeah, we're not talking about Real Deal because he sat down. It wasn't just quoting bars, but he literally broke down rounds. He, said what somebody did better than the other. Yeah. He said the things he liked. He said the things that could have been better. Like, that's all we want. Like, for me, like I said earlier, you can't tell me I'm wrong on something which is my opinion if I'm explaining my opinion to you. No one wants to hear the dark plot of Ashley MacArthur.
No, that's
not my ringtone.
Oh, that was an interlude or something.
No, it's like my true crime on YouTube. That's what that is.
No, we're talking about Jem not paying attention. You're watching documentaries during the podcast.
You get me? Jen, take it seriously. If you're gonna be on the panel, be on the panel.
There's no hate though, isn't it? Like, we were saying the same thing. Like Jem, Quill, Real Deal, they're all, Trubs, man, in the chat. Like, you're all judging it. I respect all of you as judges. I'm just saying the way you convey what you're saying to the people on the stream, that's what they're looking at.
Yeah.
And then also for the battlers, there's too much at stake to, like, okay, I guess you're going to go behind the scenes and explain, but yeah, like, people just, it's not like we doubt your ability to judge battles at all or think that you've made the wrong decision or you can't justify it. It's that people just need to hear that justification, especially as we're so used to hearing that in, like, if you've been watching tournaments of late, you're used to hearing, you're used to saying, all right, stop judging now, get off, like, I've heard enough, you've made your point, move on. And we've got like, yeah, he took it 2-1.
Hey,
I just think Celeste won, man. I don't think anyone's an idiot, or I just think I watched now. I thought Celeste won, and the people who told me he didn't win, I wanted to hear why.
Yeah,
trouble. Don't try to dodge that Woolsey question. Put that back up.
I voted for Georgie. It's no secret. I did it on the live stream in front of I don't know how many thousands of people was watching that, bro. Yeah,
hey man, I don't envy your position. I've got an easy job here. Like, I'm not in the public eye.
This is it. I don't ever 100%. Want that smoke. Like, whenever I got asked to judge, it was pressure. Like, I needed to know why. Whereas before, I could just say, "Oh yeah, day one," and that's why. And I don't care if my reason isn't good enough. You know, like
But in fact, let me hold on. Let me.
I got Wilsey in there now, right? I voted against Wilsey against Scoop, and I watched that battle like a year ago, and Wilsey beat him. Like we get shit wrong as judges.
Also, it's down to It's down to Premier Battles to give. I don't know what they said to the judges. Did you give strong? You should give good guidelines as to what you expect, as to like not just assuming that someone, because they've got the ability to judge a battle, is going to deliver what you want. Like I'm sure Premier Battles wanted a clear, you know, they might have given a time, I don't know, but I'm sure that what they wanted is not what they got. And did you tell them what you wanted? Because if you didn't, then it's on you, and you need to make sure that next time you give them a breakdown of what you want to hear from their judging. Like there should be a few points that you include elements like, otherwise it makes us look bad. Like, do your job properly. But it's down to sorry, I'm going back to King of the Dot, because this is my point with King of the Dot. You didn't give the judges, like you didn't tell them what you wanted from them properly. So they went back and then they had that whole thing. But you need to, I think it's easy to criticize now. There were sound problems. There were all like the judging, you're hearing yourself back. I think a lot of these things are things that they will fix for the next round.
Thanks.
Ooh, someone stop clicking.
I can hear Bear clicking.
Though to Trouble,
yeah.
That the next round was Georgie versus Sam, right? So do you have the other ones? Who are the other matchups? Because I didn't know the like how the table works.
Hold on.
I've got the table. I have no idea how it works.
What's clicking?
I think it stopped. I can't hear it. Oh.
Can you guys see the other guy? Because it's just got a picture up on my screen.
Yeah, no, he's got his video off.
I'm here.
His video's off. He's doing some shady shit that he doesn't want us to see. That's why. Cool, do you, bro?
I was just thinking my thing was not working properly.
All right. So after that was Briggsy and McKenzie.
Briggsy and McKenzie was fire.
That was super close.
For me,
it was a rap more natural. Is it crack or glue, bro? I'll be honest. I prefer. Do you know what? It's mad. Like we gotta watch it. We gotta judge it on first watching it. For me, I prefer the way Georgie rapped better. To be honest, it's just I prefer Georgie's style better. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what can? Is that because
he's from London or Londonish?
No, it's nothing to do. It's nothing to do with the accent. I just prefer these. I don't feel like it's nothing to do. It's the way of rapping though.
Okay.
That's trouble out, bro.
So what do you lot think about the constant likeness to C major?
See, I feel like that's a predictable angle as well, though. That's the thing. Like, do you know how many people done that?
He does rap like man, though. He does.
But he came in never listening to a battle. He had no idea who C major was when he started battling. You can't, and like he's brand new. Well, when I say no idea, he wasn't a fan of battle. Like he'd listened to, maybe actually, because he was a fan at like 13 as a kid, and then sort of fell out of it. So I don't know how familiar he was.
What's Jennn with the backstory though?
Well, no, do you know why I'm saying all of this? It's because he just did the new class the other day where I get all of that backstory. Yeah.
He does.
He was a fan from 13, from 14.
Let me check the bio.
Say that he looks like C major, he raps like C major. Okay, at some point we need a new angle in it. It's just how many people are gonna come? So what? 10 battles and saying the same thing, and that's cool.
Yeah, well, this is it, and I mean, it's happened for time with Raptor, innit? Like people have always gone on that Raptor's just the mini shotty horror or the next shotty horror or whatever, like dead. So yeah, I guess
it's a dead angle, man.
About DNA spraying the machete, is that going to hit?
I mean, it's been used too much.
He did say that, though.
Yeah.
It's been used too much already. Georgie's new, so
it's been 10 years saying the same thing. But I guess, fair enough.
No,
anyway, let's move on because you're not grilling me with that one.
I guess it's the way you use it. If you're creative in the way that you use it, then I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, but it's going to be really hard for you to say it in a way that no one in the space, for example, the DNA. In 10 years, people have been saying
that's the beauty of it, though.
How creative
that's the beauty of it, though. Whenever you change, if you can say it where it's
so then it's different
from everybody else, then that makes it hit much more.
Yeah. If it still hits after 10 years, you know why it still hits after 10 years? Because it doesn't matter how many years it is, it's still stupid as fuck. It's stupid, bro. So it's always going to be one of those timeless. It's going to be one of those timeless angles, because he said he's going to spray a machete, and he's done a lot of things. Remember he said to her as well. He's like you only know in your country. I'm nationwide. If I bow DNA,
people say every battle thing. It's brutal.
If you say something that's stupid, that's going to be stupid forever. It doesn't matter like how long it's yeah.
But the other battles, what you were saying, Mackenzie and Briggsy, because actually I personally had Mackenzie edging it.
Yeah, I was that.
What I thought about this was it was a classic sort of, for me, Mackenzie said too much. Battle. Like, he said too much. That was the problem. He had way too much material. Briggsy was perfect with his short setups, hard punches, clear, concise. Like I think Mackenzie just said too much. Like, it was just way
90 seconds round.
Yeah, you didn't need, like, you had longer. Fire.
Yeah, I wish the rounds were longer.
If he just slowed, maybe just taken out some, like he had a lot in there. He could have taken out a third of it.
But so fast, and they got called time on.
Do you know what? The speed is a problem, man. The speed was the pacing and the breath control was a problem throughout.
100%.
Those were the weak points. For me, the overfilling it for me wasn't a weak point. In fact, over 3 rounds, I don't think the guy spat one bar that wasn't direct, and I think that in itself is impressive, right? But yeah, the speed and the pacing in which he delivered it was sloppy. But what I'd say, Briggsy's material, it was sharp. There was some really nice punchlines. It was like someone just put in the chat season, like it was super season.
Yeah.
It was great. I think there was a disparity in different elements. Briggsy was cleaner, but Briggsy's punchlines are more predictable, stuff I'd heard before, a bit more indirect. The way I see it, it was such a close battle that the choke actually did make a difference. I think when it's that close, the choke matters.
I don't think it did. You see Mackenzie, yeah?
The second round, I preferred Briggsy's round.
Yeah,
Briggsy's second round. Briggsy's second round.
Briggsy's second was hard. But what I'm saying about Mackenzie is his like...
Yeah, Briggsy heated up.
What you said about him having like directs all the way through, that's hard. But what I'm saying is he needs to, at this point in his kind of progression in battles, he needs to start writing breaths in. Like any battler,
no question.
He needs to start writing breaths in, because not only has he got like the accent point on there, but he's also got a very powerful voice. So like a lot of it is just, it goes over your head. You'd have to rewind his rounds to catch everything. Do you know what I'm saying? So he needs to start spreading that out between battles a bit, because he's got bare material, and he don't need to put all that material in that one round. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and breath pauses, like that's how you dictate, like your performance, your narrative. It's how you sell what you're saying by slowing down and putting emphasis on the next thing. Like someone like Immaculate is an absolute master at doing that. Just slowing down at the right time. Soul as well. Punchline.
And this is why I said
the clicking is from Danny Jaqq. I just clocked
perfect. That's why I said perfect judge, Danny. Sort your mic out.
Not to draw you out, but the clicking is from your team still.
It's you.
If you got, if I mute you, it goes.
Danny, you transcribing this whole thing?
If you got headphones, you'll stop. But, yeah.
I said, are you transcribing the whole thing that we're doing?
Take it note.
I got some. I don't know how long it'll last though. I got like little battery, bro. But I'll give it a go.
I think that pause thing and selling the rounds. That's why I said like tournament rounds, because they're being like judged there and there. You want everyone to take that breath, but especially the judges to be able to catch how fire what you just said and put in layering. Like it's hard when you're. I'm sure you can speak to that. You want to write down point. You want to take mental notes, and you're taking the note about the last thing while he's spitting some crazy stuff, and you kind of. And it's going to make, I guess, it make it harder for a judge to justify why they pick you. But I thought also the delivery, I think, was so much of it because, like you said, there was like his beard and he was moving his face from side to side. I don't know where the mic was, and like he's saying stuff, so you're not even catching 100% of everything. And it's silly to be talking about, you know, your beard and moving, but little things like that which make you miss certain things, and you didn't need all of that. If you had a third, like took off a third from it, like it would have been a much closer battle if you just didn't say so much.
You know what? I agree with what you guys have said. I think that's absolutely right in terms of like the reason that Briggsy won the battle.
Yeah.
I think that's totally justified. My only thing is that I do think it was a close battle, like super close. So the choke mattered. Definitely, and that's like literally my opinion. I'm not mad at Briggsy getting the win because he did those things better than Mackenzie did.
Natural raps, you know. Willsy's out here.
Punchlines, wordplay, and natural raps.
I think Willsy should be a judge still.
Yeah, man.
Willsy, get Willsy on there. London Jennn would be a good judge as well, man.
London Jennn doesn't want that smoke.
Breaking it down.
I did judge on Apex though. I did judge a couple of battles on Apex. That was really cool.
Danny Jaqq is used to people trashing him online.
Bro,
anyway,
listen,
so.
I was here eating my dinner, bro. I turned around and just look at the TV, bro. I see one comment on the stream. I'm not even there, bro. Fuck Danny Jaqq. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to chill, bro.
You're just minding your own business.
You can't stop. Like, I'm not on no. I'm just on the stream. I'm not on no thing. You can't read comments, man, in battle rap. Yeah, I learned that years ago.
Yeah,
it's just there, innit, on Twitch. They come up, so I literally just looked up and I see, fuck that. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like, I'm eating a Sunday roast. I know it's Saturday, but
yeah. If I look at a comment thread now for this live stream and like, all I'm reading next to me while I'm trying to say something a fair point, and I'm just reading Ginger Virgin poetry, like.
Hey, yo, Quill, I was just saying before you got here, how hard it actually is to as well be there justifying who you think won on the stream when you can hear bare noise in the background. Yo, my headphones, I could hear things everywhere. I'm actually thinking, blood, can people hear me, blood? Car, I'm just talking and I can hear Bobby Rex, I can hear Briggsy, I can hear Shot, I can hear everyone. I can hear.
Gubs is there like, turn me up in my headphones.
yeah.
By the way, in terms of the stream, like it ran really well. Big up Premier Battles. Big up all of them. It ran really well. It was really entertaining to watch. The only feedback for them is just to smoothen out those audio transitions generally, like next time. But that was a 6 stream.
And also, bro, when people are getting interviewed, like the Sam Hype's interview is getting on my nerves because, like, he's like, Shotty asked a question, put the mic to him, and then it's like he's social distancing from the mic. I'm like, bro, I bet you just move back and forward, bro. Like, I can't hear what you're saying.
I'm sure those things they'll fix for next time. It's King, like all of these, everyone who's done sort of this live stream tournament thing, each round has got better and better where you fix those technical issues and
overall they smashed it, man. Like overall they did a really good job. I enjoyed it. It's just
100%.
Yeah, it's just the little things that it didn't even bother me. It just made me laugh. I think it wasn't even Premier Battle's fault. It was like Sam Hype's just sitting barefoot, like he was trying to avoid the mic. If anything, it was hilarious to watch, bro.
I agree with Sean Gray. I agree with Sean Gray.
No one's complaining, by the way.
I apologize if I come across that way. I don't mean to. It was a great event. I really enjoyed the performance.
I literally enjoy complaining, bro.
And even though it's
the first online event I've really actually paid attention to. I've watched a couple of the caffeine things on caffeine, but I've been folding up washing while I'm watching, like half-assed watching, like. But this was a serious event, and I look forward to more.
Yeah, man.
And I'm gonna say as well, even though Slester got knocked out of the tournament, I feel like because he can make an argument that he won, it's gonna benefit him anyway.
Yeah,
he's probably gonna be on a one-off battle on the semi-final.
Bro, I bet you any money, Maverick will get a title shot, bro. Anyway, I think he's one of those people in the tournament where Briggsy and that want to push him, bro. I can see it because, bro, they see him in the real sick battle. Still. Yeah, man. Like, and bro, we're obviously gonna get into the Bobby Maverick battle, but that's gonna be mad debatable anyway and controversial.
I going into the battle, I had Maverick beating Bobby, but then once the battle, my prediction was Maverick winning. I just felt like Bobby done more.
Yo, Bobby done everything.
Bobby done the most.
Bobby done everything.
I ain't seen this Bobby in a very long time.
There you go. Didn't like I didn't like the second round angle though. I didn't like it, but it didn't. Like, I was talking
the Nan stuff.
Like, yeah, it was weird. And then he said the angle. Like you can't use that as an angle, and then use that angle to explain why you can't use that angle, which kind of like
that's the whole that's always the problem. You can't get out of that one. I remember Juan against Sharon encountered that problem. Like he did a whole round about you use this thing, but he used the thing while like so it's sometimes you can't escape. I don't think that's always a clean approach, but I would say I try to separate. Like everyone has certain boundaries of things they don't like, and you shouldn't say that, you shouldn't say that, right? So I tried to keep that separate to an extent, unless it's something absolutely horrific that shouldn't be anywhere near anything. Of
course, yeah.
Like in my personal opinion on that, with how good the material is, right? How convincing it is, how compelling it is. Like Bobby Rex's second hit harder than probably anything.
Yeah.
It banged.
The second was crazy. Yeah.
The match thing is, I thought Mav's second was
fire. As
was
Mav
hard.
Was going, I was thinking,
so on the second, I was about to say, Mav might can like turn this around, but
100%.
Yeah, Bobby's second just outdid it still.
Maverick out-rapped Bobby tenfold, bro. That is the maddest thing. Maverick out-rapped
he did.
Clean.
He did.
Every round. Nah, Cross, I see you shaking red, bro. Come on, bro. You're a rapper yourself.
Do you know what sometimes as well?
What, even in the third round, do you think?
Tenfold's a big thing.
But do you think? In
the third round, I felt like it was just not personal enough. Like he could have, except for mentioning Bob's name in there, like everything else could have been used for anyone.
Do you think too much pin can also be a downfall as well?
Yes. Yeah. No. That's
because you need to know how to win. And you're so focused on showing how lyrical you are that sometimes you forget that you're here to win a battle. And I felt like that's what costed Mav the battle. I think Mav wanted to show.
I agree with that.
To show that he's got a very dope pen, and he does. Because you fall into that lane, and now you want to keep proving that you have a dope pen. You forget that you're still there to win a battle.
And when you're battling Bobby Rex, who likes to
got a presence
to mock people, and the thing is though, you've got to know that there's going to be a level of mockery when it comes to Bobby. Like, so you've got to bring that too.
Your shit, yeah. You know how to use your shit.
I think just from like that's a great point when you're talking about overusing the pen. Bobby sounded like he was having a conversation that rhymed. And that's a super effective technique where you don't like it's simple. It's really simple, but it's so easy to hear everything that you're saying because it's not caught up in lyrical ability, but you're rapping your ass off because you're literally saying stuff that you would say in general conversation. You're not forcing things. You're not pulling fancy words in because that rhymes with those 3 syllables. Like you're literally talking like I'm talking now, but everything you're saying rhymes. Like
I don't know if anyone would have
so effective
on that.
I think there's definitely an argument about using too much pen or too much focus on rhyme schemes. Like the multisyllabics, it's a good facet and tool to use in battle rap, but it's not the only tool. Like if you're really listening and the rhymes are structured a certain way, but there's not necessarily a lot of impact. What I'd say about Maverick, it was a strong performance, and I think Bobby's was more impactful. Like I don't think volume and energy are the same thing as impact. And I don't think a lot of what Maverick said was actually super impactful. And I thought a lot of what Bobby said
ended with his setups with harder punches as well, direct harder punches, would have been a lot. Like Taylor to Bobby.
He did rap for a while without landing a single punch. Like in one of the
that's what I'm saying. Like, and he's rapping really well, but
in a 90-second thing, that's not gonna work.
It's not the way to go. No, not at all, bro. That's the thing. That's what. Like he was rapping, like, bro, because I love when, like, that's why I like battles like Parson, that, because they rap, they keep rapping and rapping, but in a 90-second round, and like against Bobby, it didn't really work. But when I was watching it, I thought Maverick won, and then when I heard the judges, I was like, this is bullshit, bro. But
I wasn't expecting 5-0, but I did think Bobby won. I thought Bobby took the battle.
Oh wow!
I think maybe 4-1, maybe 4-1.
You know, I feel like
maybe Quill voted for Maverick. Yeah.
Personally, I had Bobby, and I knew the fans was gonna pick Bobby as well because of the nostalgic feel. Bobby ain't been this Bobby in a long time, so the minute you come back to this rare form, it's like, oh, Bobby's back. Votes for Bobby. I feel like subconsciously that's what happened. The fans, me personally, I just felt like Mav displayed the very dope lyrical ability. Bobby knew how to win the battle, and sometimes that's what it's about.
You know, it's the luck of the draw, man. I don't like, but the fact that Maverick's out in the first round is mad. But it's just the luck of the draw, because Maverick should at least be like. I really thought he was going to go progress through this tournament.
You got to beat the best at some point. The best one's in it. Like of course, you have to beat him in the final, or you beat him in the. So you have to just come with your best stuff. Maverick was good. What was exciting was that Bobby was super composed and prepped. Like I knew he would be personally, because a lot of people have lost faith in Bobby, and actually I'd argue on the fan vote that might have been something that played against him, because he's let people down a few times in the past. But I know Bobby is one of the people outside of battle rap I talk to, I speak to on the phone. Like he's been hungry for a while. He's been saying, I want to repair this. Like I've been lazy. I've not used this amazing platform I've had, and I want to, next time I go in it, I want to do a lot better. So I'm glad to see him back in that zone.
I think it's
caring about craft.
I would like to see
Bobby in years. For sure.
I would like to see him not let off the gas though, because I feel like he let off the gas in the third. I want to see him complete it all the way through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, agreed. He has to build on it now to like win the tournament, but the foundations of what he needs to bring back to his performance and the things he has to focus on, you know, actually prepping hard for the battle, making interesting points in the battle. Because Maverick was saying all that stuff to him. You just talk about punching people. But again, that angle plays against you when your opponent comes into the battle doing different things than they usually do. So again, it's strategy as well. But it was a close one. But I had it Bobby winning. I don't think I'd be mad at people having Maverick winning. I think all the battles really were quite close.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, there was. I
think the closest round was second.
Yeah.
You would definitely.
Because when Mav was going, I was thinking Bobby's not going to beat this one. This is probably going to be Mav's best round, and then
Bobby's second was just incredible, man.
But do you know it's always as well round structure is mad, you know, because had Mav's second round beat his first. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like Mav would have.
Yeah, because that can change your whole perception on what he's. Yeah, not for real.
It's mad. Like if Mav first round was his second, he would have beat Bobby's. It's mad. Like the way sometimes you have to be. It's unlucky how you position your rounds in it. It's mad.
Yeah, because you can't predict.
They both put their strongest rounds in their second. So now you're debating.
How hard is it to cram all of that content into 90 seconds?
Listen, Bobby's that old people are supposed to die. Like,
you know what? I'll be honest. That was the one part of that whole tournament where my internet kind of cut a bit, so I didn't fully hear those bits. People have been talking about the old people angle, but when I came in, he was at the end of that bit, the whole thing about my life, your life, and I was like, okay, wow, you're going in.
Yeah, no, he was saying some shit, like nothing complicated, but those cold bars that you just stop.
Them struggle bars.
Them struggle that's not yours. Yeah, that's it. My hands been
talking about
yeah.
He was talking about robbing people because he had to. He was talking all that gully Manchester shit that Bobby has always talked, but he was doing it in proper top form again, and it was really good to see.
Because when Bobby burst on the scene, I always say this to Bobby. I'm like, why aren't you just being funny for your whole round? Like you can just clown people to shit. Like when he battled Ambi, maybe his first or second battle, and he was just like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna call you fat some more. You've been standing there, and you've already cracked the floor, and all this shit." And like he was like going in, and it was like that was not like that before. And the way he sold it is incredible. He can do that with his personality and use humor in a way that a lot of people actually don't have in their arsenal. Everybody can write a good punchline. Everyone can think of a good thing on their day, but not everyone can sell humor like that. He should use it at least half of the time in his battles, and he'd win a lot more.
Facts. All right, and any last words on the panel? On the event?
I just think it was a dope event, and big up everybody that made it happen.
It was definitely dope. Refreshing. It was definitely refreshing, man.
And everyone like just showed them support as well. Like back the stream, like share it, comment, like back what they're doing, because you want to see the kind of culture of battle rap in this country get back to where it was, or kind of just grow to a brand new thing. There's a Canadian and American audience there watching this stream. This is a good way of making those networks, and shout out the battlers, like tweet them, encourage them, like, do you know what I mean? Make them.
No, definitely.
That's like, support it. Because like what Sean was saying was interesting earlier. Like I wasn't trying to come across as just like nagging. I disagreed with one decision strongly, but I did not enjoy the event or not think all 8 battles were really good, because they were. So definitely show love.
And there's gonna be something you disagree. I'm sure he disagrees with certain things as well. It's not. I think it's nothing to do with. No one's criticizing the event. We're criticizing. We fought a battle of one. That's all.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and I think like things we're talking about or sort of complaining about maybe it's just feedback points, or sort of it wasn't necessarily complaining. It was just sort of saying if this had happened, then maybe people wouldn't have made so much noise about it or whatever. But I think overall it was incredible. Like nobody didn't bring their A game. Everything was on point. The stream was seamless. This was fucking historic. Like
like we're talking about the battles, we're debating who won, who was better, and not talking about who had a fight at an event or who was bullying who in the forum.
100%.
That's a strong thing in itself. Like this is good. Like I should be here, you should be here talking about decision, and Quill should be there going, nah, I back my decision. That's the whole point of battle rap.
100%. That happens in every sport. Happens in every sport. Football, go and check VAR, and they still criticize. So it's nice still. But
imagine it was VAR for battle rap. You can watch stuff back like when you're sober and there's no one else around. Well, you can on
like
YouTube.
The host of the battle has to like run to the screen to Wikipedia to make sure the bar makes it.
That's it.
Is that true?
But yeah, man, big up for all of you for jumping on. This is
a big up you.
Thing.
Yeah, man. It's always a pleasure.
Man, probably do the same next week. Obviously, next week is next week. Well, I don't know if we got no loose chat as well. The event is on Sunday, obviously private event. I'm doing the face-offs here tomorrow, 6 p.m. I'm battling on that day, so Paris is gonna host all face-offs. But make sure you lot keep supporting UK Battle Rap. Big up all of you for jumping on with us, and man, big up.
And shout out to Premier Battles and KOTD for pushing the culture forward, man. It's definitely needed right now, man.
Thanks. Can I just do something quickly to any American who might be watching this, and you too, Smoke? Premier Battles. Not Premier.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's all right. Subtle
Premier Battles.
Yeah, because when you say Premier Battles, you almost don't associate it with Premier Battles because it's such a different pronunciation. But it's not. Yeah, it's Premier Battles. Premier Battles. Americans, Premier Battles. We love you. It's not Premier.
If you want to plug in your socials and stuff as well before we go, can start with you, Smoke.
Man, Smoke Royalty. Shout out to Get Your Bars Up Media. That's my home base. You know what I'm saying? You could come smoke with the King at Smok3 KingS TV. That's SMOK3 KingS TV, and that's on all platforms.
Where you from again in US, bro?
Right now, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Say that. Shout out to the A. Shout out, man. Make sure you follow him up. He's always supporting the UK battle rap, and we need more
100%.
I respect y'all, man. Y'all show us so much love. It's only right to return it, man.
Oh no, love for that, because you are everywhere in our scene, all over our streams, all over media. Whenever we go live, like that support is massive. Like really, really appreciate that. Much love to you.
Plug your thing, Jennn, as well. Plug your thing while you do.
Yeah, London Jennn, all one word, 3 N's on the Jennn, everywhere. Tune in. Oh, I've got some Anarchy content as well. Go and watch my 15 minutes of Anarchy. I've got the judges. I've got Bison Briggs saying I can't choke because then what the battler's going to do to me. So go and watch that. No. I'm gonna clip that up in a little while. I'm gonna clip it up. It's coming out.
So good. Jay, plug your thing quickly.
Yeah, you can catch me on everything at Thinkz. Yeah.
Need to get Jay back on the screens. I had to draw her out quickly.
Oh, it's good to be here, man.
Jay. Back on the screens, Jay. You're going to be back on the screens anytime soon.
I'm trying. I don't even know how to work this stuff. I need some lessons, guys. Like, I just clicked the link today.
It's all right. Jennn will teach you as well. I
need to be brought to the 21st century. I swear down.
It's easy.
I just about know how to have a video call.
Craft, you want to plug your thing?
It's just Craft_D on the Twitter and Yo Crafty on Instagram. But yeah, big up everyone for tuning in, man. And thanks for having me. Battle Rap Media, all of you.
By the way, as well, we gotta congratulate you for a very dope success on your single as well, Letter to Corbin. That did very well. So I know I did that on live, so I'd make sure I plug that in quickly.
Much respect, man. I've got working on new stuff now, and it's not all political. So sign for everyone.
Not everyday political, yeah.
Exactly.
Jaqq said his phone died, but you lot can hit him up on Code Red.
Big up Danny Jaqq, man.
Everywhere. Love for jumping on, my bro. Big up everyone. Big up. Oh, there he is. He's coming to say goodbye quickly.
Had to get a word in.
Let's see if he's got his phone charged.
Hey, come on.
Come on.
Man's back, bro.
Alright, plug your thing then quickly, my bro. Plug your thing quickly. I was literally about to go. So
shout out my phone charger. It died. But yeah, Jaqq Chat, Code Red Culture. Go follow my music, Spotify, all them things there. Come on.
Yeah, man. Hashtag justice for Celesta. Big up everyone.
Wow.
Big up.
Bless.
Big up.